Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gray Jabesi, and this is another episode of the Gray Ant Podcast. Can you guys believe it? That the number one technology and business podcast on the continent of Africa. So it's exciting times, and we continue to create the content over here. And today is no different. Doing a continuation of the Meir Ezra series, where I'm dropping pieces of some of the things that we discussed, and I think putting them in this small digestible format helps you and myself as well to make them more memorable and remember some of these principles. So on this one we talk about communication. Well, not we talk about, he actually talk about communication, and he makes a very good point that communication is actually more important than you think. And when you think of communication, maybe you think of it not in a very distinctive way, right? But here he explains it in a different way that makes you understand, because he makes a point that, look, most problems come from the lack of communication. So I hope you enjoy this. Remember to subscribe to the Gray App podcast on both platforms, iTunes or Spotify or whatever platform that you have. If you're using iPhone, you can use Apple Podcast. We're pretty much everywhere, and I'm also starting to post videos on YouTube as well on my channel, Great Jabez. So I hope you check all that out. Other than that, enjoy this small bite with Meir Ezra. Being nice is the ability to insult people without offending them, and then being nerdy is doing the opposite. I heard some kind of a quote like that. I'm just paraphrasing it. But how do you communicate something? I mean, the truth is usually very hard to communicate with, whether in a relationship or in a work environment. How do you communicate without sugarcoating?
Good. So basically, what you're actually asking me is, how do you correct a flaw with a person? That's basically.
But exactly?
Yeah, how do you correct a flaw? Because when I don't want to sugarcoat, basically what you said, the guy is a bad dancer, and you want to teach him how to dance without telling him, look, you're a useless dancer. How do you do that? Yes.
Yes.
So the fascinating thing is that, and at the beginning it's hard to explain, to understand, but you will see it's like, once you get it, it's amazing. The only way to teach a person is to find what's right about him and to ignore the bad.
Okay.
If I make someone right enough, if I validate someone enough, he himself will pick up what's wrong. Or he will ask me to tell him. He will beg me. And then I'm not making him wrong. Because when you ask me, when you come to learn, I make you wrong all day long, but you're totally happy with that because you ask for it.
Yes.
It's only when I come to you and you didn't ask for me to teach you and I'm teaching you that you will say, hey, I know.
Yes.
So how do I get you to want to learn? I make you right. Now this is the most fascinating thing that you need to try. Go to a person that you have a lot of problem with and find things that have to be true, that you can admire about him, that are amazing about him, that he is wonderful about. He has a billion things that are bad. Find 10 things that are right. And find another 10. And find another 10. All of a sudden the guy will change, and actually will become the sweetest, most amazing thing. And you will see that 99% of the bad things that you thought about him are actually not bad. I'll tell you a story. There was this lady that got married, and she got a mother-in-law. By the way, you know what's the punishment for bigamy? You know, when you have more than one wife.
No.
Like if you have 2 wives, you get 2 mother-in-laws.
Is that a punishment? Okay.
Anyway, so she had a mother-in-law, and she hated that lady. Like, she was a devil, but seriously, she was like the worst person. Everyone said that she's the devil. Everyone knew she's the devil. And actually, the devil was nice next to her. And this lady got married to her son, and she couldn't take it anymore. But they were very rich and very respected family, and she said, I'm going to kill this lady. How? She went to this witch that did all kind of poisons and asked her to give her a poison to kill her mother-in-law. And because that which whatever this lady was, she said, "Yeah, but everyone will know it's me if I will give you a poison and I will go to jail." And she said, "No, but I really need it." And the witch lady said, "You know what, we'll do that. I'll give you something that you need for 6 months, 3 times per day, to put in the food of your mother-in-law, and within 6 months she will become very, very sick, and she will die from a natural causes.
Yeah.
But you need to be really nice to her, because if you won't be nice to her, everyone will know it's you. They will suspect you." Anyway, they agreed, and this lady came to the mother-in-law 3 times per day, was nice to her, gave her the poison, gave her the poison, gave her the poison. After about 2 months, she realized that the mother-in-law is an amazing person. She's like the most beautiful person in the universe. Everything she did was actually in order to help her and her son and for her future. And so she went to the witch and she said, "Look, I want to stop it." And she said, "It's impossible. If you stop now, she will die. And it's like a drug. You cannot stop it in the middle. She will die." And she said, "No, I will." She said, "We have to stop it." And the witch said, it's just impossible." She said, "Look, I'll do anything." She said, "What do you mean anything? You wanted to kill her?" "No, I had a misunderstanding. I will do anything to save this lady, anything." She said, "Will you give your life?" And she said, "I will give my life."
Oh, wow.
So the witch says, "Good. In that case, you can stop the water, the drops of water. I give you just water." What does it mean? If you love someone, if you see only good in them, they will become good. They will become good.
Yeah.
Because if you validate someone, he automatically changes to become good. It's apply on everything. You find a new girlfriend, you see only the good in her. She's good. Once you start to see the bad in her, she become bad.
Right.
You first need to stop seeing the good in someone in order for him to become bad. But if you continue to look at them, to see only the good in them, despite all invitation to do otherwise, you will never have hardship in your life. Everyone will be nice to you. Everyone will love you. And you don't even have to do anything. People will just come and give you things. Things will just happen to you. You'll go to the street and you will get a meal, and someone will take you home, and someone will give you money, and someone will do... You will not have to do business, and you will have business.
Yeah.
Just see the good in people.